Hello and welcome everybody to our YouTube series on free agency. Each episode will look into the dealings within a single division, and if you like our content, please hit the like and subscribe button. It is free after all. And without further ado, we are going to head into the division of question. The NFC South, I think, potentially has had a seismic shift potential happen. We all expected the Bucks to probably potentially run away with it again next year, and then Kirk Cousins moved himself from the Vikings to the Falcons. And now, when you they've added another piece to that offense in Rondale Moore in the trade that they had with the Cardinals.
That's a good acquisition.
Rondale Moore. So now you've got Bijan, got Drake London, got Rondale Moore. Got Kyle Pitts.
You've got that offense there. Who's
got,
their running back? Bijan Robinson, yeah.
Bijan, come on,
yeah.
The Falcons offensively are the most well-rounded that I have seen, because all they were missing was a quarterback.
It's a quarterback, yeah.
Yeah, it was. Early in free agency, I'm gonna say one thing, and this goes out to a lot of people that and Will knows about it. When you're married, and your wife says we're going to Atlanta, you're going to Atlanta. So oftentimes, sometimes, Mrs. can call the shots in certain spaces. And this, before even the free agents, there was rumors that his wife was from Atlanta, and the wife wanted them to get back to the Atlanta area. And I was like, "What's a wrap?"
She's from Atlanta, then that's just a complete and utter no-brainer for him, especially him towards the end of his career.
Yep.
Exactly. So I'm like,
families nearby. You've got people you know that you grew up with as well. You know the area. Oh, it's huge.
And the new players that they have on their team are only Rondale Moore, Darnell Mooney. So they added Mooney. They paid him a pretty penny though, 3 years, $39 million, which
he's a good number 4 or 3. Yeah, he's a good number 4 on that team. A great number 4 actually as a receiver.
Do you know where he is on the depth chart? He is.
He's wide receiver 2. That man is wide receiver 2.
Rondale Moore's better than Darnell Mooney.
No, but hold on. But
no, Rondale Moore played the slot.
I know, but Rondale Moore's
playing slot. Darnell Mooney is going to be wide receiver 2, because when you get given $39 million with 26 guaranteed, that's why wide receiver 2 market. Because sometimes we go look at these numbers and see the role that they're picturing for you. Yeah. It's possible that Rondale could.
Well, Darnell Mooney did show something.
He's a good receiver.
Season.
But
I think
in Chicago, they wanted him to be a 1, which he's not. But
he's not a 1 because they've got Drake London who's a 1.
2 or 3. Yeah, he can definitely be a 2 or 3.
Yeah, but not a lot of people can be 1s. I mean, it's about proving it. Earlier this season, I recall, Richard Sherman on Undisputed was like, CeeDee Lamb is not a 1.
He's a 1
at the end of the season. No. When he said it at the time, he was doubting.
I knew he was a 1 at the start anyway, but then, yeah.
But I'm saying it to a point. When some people call your game out and people have doubts, you have that kind of season, and then you silence it and kill all the talk. DJ Moore, even with Justin Fields, proved that I'm a 1, bro. Justin Fields wasn't all that, but I still proved that I'm a 1. Amari Cooper had stupid quarterback changes, and he still proved in Cleveland that he's the 1. Even with Flacco, with Deshaun, that's the man who threw the ball. He's the 1 all day. So the Falcons, I would say right now, are they
favorites at the moment pre-draft?
I would say yes. With Kirk.
Well, we're going to put a spanner in the works because you don't think Kirk Cousins is going to have anything more.
No. Here's the thing. Great signing. Kirk Cousins is going to be that QB, and you're going to evaluate this team. You're going to do really well. You're probably going to make the playoffs, I think. If not, it'll be a bad season if you don't scrape in, if you don't make it in. But the reality is,
win that division. They have to win that division this year.
Yeah. But the reality is, and this is my thinking behind it, Kirk Cousins is. We've seen this team already in Minnesota.
No, he has more. He has more pieces.
He has more pieces, but
He
Just
has
think,
more in the
so
Falcons than he ever had in the Vikings, even with Justin Jefferson.
Okay, cool. So you've got Justin Jefferson. Your number 2 was Adam. Was it Thielen?
Better.
Thielen?
No.
Right?
So
Who was your
yeah.
tight end? Who was your number 1 tight end while you were there?
No, but
Carl Rudolph.
like what it's saying.
Who was your running back? Who was your running back while you were there?
Dalvin Cook.
Now we don't know. We don't know. The
And he
jury
fell
is
off a
out
cliff.
between the jury is out between Bijan Robinson right now needs to be like Dalvin Cook in year 2 or 3. That's the kind of back he needs to become.
He was held back by Arthur Smith and his moustache.
But all I'm saying, if people are looking at this like Kirk Cousins is going to take us to the promised land, in my head, I've kind of seen this potential before. This could be.
So
I think they're going to ride out.
The one thing I will say
one and done in
to
the playoffs. That's what I think. One and done in the playoffs. He's not worth 180 million. That's where they messed up. But Kirk Cousins gets that. You know, Cam Newton went through this.
Kirk Cousins is the greatest quarterback of all time.
He's just a safe guy. Like
in terms of making money, he's made a lot of money.
He is the world's greatest quarterback of all time because he's able to secure the bag every single time.
Hey, hold on. Who's his agent? Hold on a second.
Yeah. That's my only gripe. I think this is a great acquisition, but that is my only gripe here. I think we've seen it before.
Listen, well, one word. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
I'm not actually hating on Kirk. All I'm saying is we've seen this happen before. Like this is the next 4 years. You're gonna be one and done in the playoffs. You're gonna be that team that's floating around wild card, makes it in for the next 3-4 years while Kirk is there. Unless like that's gonna be the story of Atlanta.
Mike McCartney. So here's the thing.
It's a ghost. Here's a ghost. That's all we've got to say.
Advice. No. Let me finish with this. Free advice. If you are an NFL prospective quarterback and you're coming into the league and you're a quarterback, there's 2 agents that you need. 2, Mike McCartney and David Mogaleta. Those 2 dudes will get you the bag, no matter how you play, because they know how to play the game. They'll get you the bag.
All right, let's move on to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They re-signed Baker. He earned his deal. 3-year, $100 million, including $30 million fully guaranteed in year 1, has max value of $115 million in total. He earned it. He showed he is a franchise quarterback to everybody. And
definitely.
They re-signed Mike Evans. They re-signed Lavonte David on the defensive side. They re-signed some linchpins, right? They're important players. Yep. Antoine Winfield got the non-exclusive franchise tag. And then they added some players in Jordan Whitehead. They added him and they added a couple of other players. The Bucs aren't terribly far away, but they also do need to make some additions in the draft because they did lose Devin White.
Yeah, they did. And
they lost Ryan Jensen to retirement.
They also lost Shaq Barrett, which they might look into the draft. I think pass rusher is a big area that they might fill through the draft because it was Adam Markey pass rusher and free agency. So that's one area they might look to shore up. And I think it's a right move for the Buccaneers. Bringing the band back, I think is a right move. Bringing Baker Mayfield, and they paid Mike Evans what he wanted, and I'm glad to see that. And it goes as a testament to an organization that's doing right by the player. Because they could easily have said, no, we're not going to give you the $25 million fully guaranteed that you needed. But it's kind of like you look at what he has been for your franchise, how consistent he's been year in, year out. And he's probably going to get a record for the most 1,000 consecutive yard seasons in NFL history, which will pave a way to he's already a Hall of Fame type receiver. So you reward that and you keep that within your organization, and you keep they had the cap room to make it happen, so they made it happen. And I give credit to Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield could have said, I want Kirk Cousins type deal, which would have resulted in Mike Evans not coming back. But Mayfield actually, it feels like it's a discount type of deal. And Mayfield was content with the amount of money that he's getting. He's more he's sacrificed to bring the team together, and I like to see that Mayfield has done that.
He wants to win. Because after all, he's had so many years of being in the doldrums, right? Bouncing around from team to team, being almost mistreated, right? He's proven himself. He's found himself in a position where he went onto a team that had players. He proved himself to be a guy. He is a franchise quarterback now, and now he's going to be able to try and do something. We're going to see how they are going to kind of go on from here, but let's move on to Carolina Panthers. Now, obviously, they had a big issue because their quarterback, Bryce Young, didn't have a great year last year. They've got a lot of issues. But if you look at who they have acquired in this offseason, they acquired a superb actor from Britain called Damian Lewis. No, actually the offensive guard, Damian Lewis. A 4-year, $53 million contract. And they added Robert Hunt.
That's the nephew. That's Damian Lewis Jr.
And then Robert Hunt, 5-year, $100 million deal. They had a problem at O-line. They had a problem at guard. They rectified it by putting two dudes in there, right?
Yeah, they're literally they're like the whole offensive line.
Right?
Yeah.
And then they added in David Moore. But the thing is, obviously, the big one is they added Deontay Johnson from the Steelers. Deontay Johnson showed that he was a very capable wide receiver. He just wasn't. He was annoyed that he wasn't receiving the ball enough, and he's going to get his touches in this team for sure.
See, he is. I'm a little bit disappointed in the sense that, yes, I get that he wasn't getting the ball enough. He had 1 or 2 drops. That's not a big thing, but sometimes it's weird, right? Because some receivers can and some receivers can't, right? So let me explain. There are certain receivers in the league that they don't talk. If they know their quarterback if they know their quarterback is trash, every ball the quarterback throws for them, they will make the adjustment to make sure I catch that ball. As in, like, I will go the extra mile to make sure I get these numbers. DJ Moore is one of them. I'm just trying to think in the modern era receivers that will still get. Amari Cooper is one of them. He will try and strive and get his numbers, regardless of the QB play. DeAndre Hopkins. They're saying Mike Evans as well. Regardless of who the QB is, they're trying to make that adjustment. So Deontay needs to have a new attitude in terms of, you've got a talented quarterback now, Bryce Young. He's much more talented than your previous one, and he will get you the ball. I think, for me, the biggest moves for the Panthers was those 2 offensive linemen that they signed.
On the offensive side, we're talking about, yes.
On the offensive side, yeah. Robert Hunt, PFF grade 77.1. Damian Lewis, a little bit on the downside, 59.8, but he's still a very good guard. He's had impressive grades over the years. And I like how they target those 2 guards, because for a short callback like Bryce Young, he's not just short, but he's also very slender build. He's not thick build.
Yeah, he's not
his interior has to be the best, one of the good to very good dudes that can actually block to give him a chance. Because it's not really so much about the tackles with Bryce Young, it's more about the interior.
Yep,
and they're rectifying that. They're rectifying that. So good for them. I like the sign of Ashawn Robinson to pair up with Mike Brown, I think, who's the defensive tackle, who's very good as well. So they sort of like has added some pieces to the roster, and I think they're gonna be. They're
probably still gonna finish 3rd or 4th in the division, we'd expect.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But they're starting to rebuild to being a good team, and their head coach could actually
they could surprise everyone. Yeah,
Bryce Young.
So they added in Josie Jewell, a linebacker, but obviously when you look at the defensive side of the ball, they've lost some major players. They've lost Frankie Louvu. They've lost Brian Burns.
I'm surprised they didn't
they've lost
resign
Jeremy
him.
Chin.
He was a big one for them.
Like Louvu, Burns, and Chin, that's huge parts of the defensive side.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeremy Chin especially. And I'm surprised they didn't try and resign Frankie Louvu, although
he ended up going to the Commanders, and the Commanders are having a bit of a renaissance, as we talked about in that episode.
That's true. Okay, I'm just trying to do some number. So they gave Josie Jewell 22.75, including $7 million signing bonus and $10 million fully guaranteed. How much did Louvu get with the Commanders? I wonder.
If I look at Carolina, so Louvu got $31 million in 3 years.
So it wasn't far off what they were giving to...
No, it's a significant. It's 13 over 18, so it's about 60% more.
I'd rather have given that to Louvu and kept him as a core.
Oh, 50%. Yeah, it's about 50% extra. So yeah, not 60, but just under 50%.
Well, I guess. But then when you give those money to the offensive line to protect your quarterback, you don't have enough for your linebacker.
Yeah,
so sometimes you got to play there.
When you put $150 million in 2 players.
Mm.
So yeah, I understand the reasoning behind it. It's just whether the defensive side can hold on as well, because they're going to have to fill some holes as well. But they did add Dane Jackson. They did add Jordan Fuller. They re-signed Troy Hill. So they've added some more players, but whether or not it's going to be enough, we'll see. All right, and finally, to round out the NFC South, the New Orleans Saints added Willie Gay, Chase Young, Cedric Wilson.
Good pieces.
And Jonathan Abram.
Yep. They brought back... Yep. They brought back Tyrann Mathieu, which is
correct, and Demario Davis.
Yep. So yeah, they kept the defense. The defense is gonna be good still. They're gonna have a good defense in the division. It's gonna be tough playing the Saints. Offensively, not sure. I'm with Derek Carr still, but Chase Young, 1 year. I wonder if he will start.
He's not. He's going to be behind. He's going to be third in the rotation. Third person so he'll be rotating in. He's not going to be the main guy.
Who are the 2 main guys on the edges? So, I know Cam Jordan is one. Who's the other one?
So if you look at the Saints depth chart, they've got Carl Granderson, who's on the other side, and Granderson at the moment and Jordan are listed as starters.
Eventually, Chase Young will force his way into it, because
that's providing he plays well, and he's been inconsistent.
Yes, but here's the thing:
the reason why
they said he chose to go to the Saints, because he had other suitors. He went to the Saints, hung out Cam Jordan, and decided to sign with the Saints for the 1 year, $30 million deal because he wants to play with Cam Jordan. And Cam Jordan is one of those veterans that could really mentor Chase Young, maybe teach him how to be more professional and sort of like tough love mentoring, as in like, the big bro that would tell you that, look, you are more talented than me, but you need to add the hard work element. Chase Young is he's supremely talented, but his problem, I think, is because of the hard work element. I always say this: when you're already talented, just add the hard work, and it will take you there. He wasn't professional, and he wasn't adding the hard work. So hopefully, being with someone like Cam Jordan, who has worked extremely hard and has become one of the top defensive linemen, pass rushers, certified to be going to the Hall of Fame based on his numbers and his play, I would say it would be a good move for Chase Young, and I'm really impressed that he gets a mentor that could help him. If you play with Cam Jordan and he mentoring you doesn't do anything for you, I don't know what will. No. So defensively, they're solid.
Defensively, they're solid. Offensively, we don't know how Derek Carr's going to play. Well, we kind of know how Derek Carr's generally going to play.
We know how he's going to play.
But
We've seen it already.
The one thing is, I would say they've got rid of some of their dead wood. Got rid of Jimmy Graham. They got rid of Michael Thomas finally. And I think that could be there are multiple people that think that could be a good thing for the wide receiver room and the offensive side of the ball in general because
I think
from a harmony perspective.
I think so. I think finally, and I think coming to this season, based on their free agency, I think they'll be looking for Olave to take a commanding step up.
He needs to not give up on routes as well, because we saw that last season.
Wide receiver one status. This is a chance for him, and I don't know if I'm Loomis, I'll just tank to make sure I get a good quarterback, because Derek Carr is always going to keep you in that middle of the draft pack, whereby you're not high enough to get one of these top quarterbacks coming out, and you're also not close to championship contention. It's like you're always sort of like yo-yoing in the middle.
Yeah, you want to get into that top 10 or top 12 to be able to make some moves, because you can always trade up as well. But yeah.
Hey, by the way, before we move on, go ahead.
I was going to say, the Saints are that type of team, just like Pete said, that they're not going to be so bad, but then they're not going to be great either. They're just going to sit in the middle of those teams.
Exactly. And shout out to Mickey Loomis. The cap wizard did it again. Before they went to free agency, they were way over the cap. But guess what?
Always the cap doesn't exist for the New Orleans Saints. They managed to.
Do you know what? Mickey Loomis, he might as well. Why doesn't he hold courses for teams to pay to teach?
Because the whole point is that is for them to benefit and nobody else, right? It's team sports. It's not for him to divulge that information and that